keeping it with the MCU a little bit here. The MCU, as it is, the best days are behind it, which I have said continually, which is part of the reason why I'm going back to rewatch and sort of, put a finer point on that. We have a new hero perhaps in the making. Scarlett Johansson, not just a hero on the big screen, but she's sticking it to the mouse in the house. She is suing Disney over what happened with Black Widow because, obviously the financial numbers were not where they wanted them to be theatrically, and that comes out of ScarJo's bottom line. So she is suing Disney for breach of contract with releasing it as a streaming movie and the theatrical release, which apparently she had it in her contract that this would be a theatrical movie, and Disney did not cop to that. And Disney sort of responded very dismissively in kind. And, Kevin Feige then had to weigh in and basically said that he's embarrassed about how Disney reacted and that he tried to talk them out of how they were doing things. Very messy for Disney. And ScarJo, I must applaud her taking it to them on this. And that, this could be a pretty big deal on how movies and stuff like this proceed in the future, certainly with how contracts are written between stars and stuff like that. But look, I've really enjoyed going back to the movies, and I hope that is still the future. I know we were talking about in the lead up to this, that so much of the future is going to be through streaming services and everything like that. But there is something special about going to the movies. There is, something sort of the metrics of how you measure a film success in certain senses from its box office appeal and things like that. I don't want to see all that go out the window. So I'm happy for ScarJo standing up for herself, here, not, whatever, cry a millionaire a river, but good for her.
Well, yeah, definitely. But also for everybody else that worked on that movie, because a lot of their contracts are written into how well it does in the box office, not just the actors, but everybody behind the scenes too. And I've read multiple articles lately about how these people got so screwed from these releases on the streaming platforms because either it just wasn't included in their contract of like what they get and it wasn't specified, or some like ScarJo where they're just trying to hopefully nobody says anything. And a lot of those smaller people might not have the funds to actually back themselves up in court against the mouse. ScarJo's not careful though, she might find a suicide with 2 holes in her back of her head. So.
Oh, God, dang, that is dark. Well, needless to say, I don't think they'll be bringing back Natasha's character on screen anytime soon. That could spell the end for the return of Natasha Romanoff, which
which they already built in.
Yeah, but I feel like they wanted to bring her back in some capacity. So I guess Florence Pugh will still be the next Black Widow. But even as bad as that movie was, good for her for standing up for herself. And it's Disney just sort of bungling this whole thing. They tried to use the fact that she'd been paid already $20 million as sort of a way to drag her, which I get, like kind of a smart strategy, but in this day and age where everything is dissected, it's just not going to work because you still are in breach of contract. And it got it got a joint statement from Women in Film, Time's Up, Reframe. Basically, they said this: while we take no position on the business issues in the litigation between Scarlett Johansson and the Walt Disney Company, we stand firmly against Disney's recent statement, which attempts to characterize Johansson as insensitive or selfish for defending her contractual business rights. This gendered character attack has no place in a business dispute and contributes to an environment in which women and girls are perceived as less able than men to protect their own interests without facing ad hominem criticism. Not exactly the PR spin you want coming your way. It's a spicy meatball, Disney, that you got to try to turn syrup on.
And if you're Disney, it's like, why are you allowing this? Like, why are you just trying to fight it? You have the money, just pay it. Like this doesn't help you, and honestly, probably doesn't hurt them either. But they're just so big, it probably just doesn't even matter anymore. And they're like, well, we can kind of say what we want, and guess what? People are still gonna come see our movies because we got Star Wars and Marvel. So F off.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just gotta keep chipping away at them, though. I think people are going to get fed up eventually. So I applaud Scarlett Johansson for taking the fight and agreeing with me that Marvel Cinematic Universe's best days are behind them, and because really that's what this is about. She was unhappy with the finished product of her movie, and unhappy with that she had to wait in line behind other characters and stuff like that. Good for ScarJo. Welcome to the team. I'll send you a Best Damn Nerd Show sweatshirt, which, by the way, you can get yourself out there in Nerdosphere. So appreciate everybody that does. Yeah, exactly. Davis and I will be wearing them in Mexico together.
I'm not wearing a sweatshirt in Mexico.
Well, we have to for branding. It's in our contract, Davis. I will sue your ass if you don't.
Do we have like banana hammocks with our logo on it yet?
God, we should. We really should. I remember an emailer from a long time ago asked for Best Damn Nerd Show female underwear.
Oh.
And we never did get that made, but hope springs eternal. That one
Scratch and sniff?
That one day we will. I think you made that same joke then too.
Well, I know we would at least have one customer in Florida for the banana hammock, but
yeah, probably.
So maybe think about it.
You never know.